How you doing, YouTube? It's Kareem here from Kareem's Custom RC Lab, and what we're doing today with the Xmaxx, we're gonna widen this out, and I got the new GPM 24mm extensions, and what that's gonna do is allow me to widen this to the wide max width, and it's actually going to be more durable and stronger than the actual wide max for far less money. Instead of that paying, I believe, $199, and plus the new aluminum arm, this is another $50. You're at about $250. This way, you're about $80 to $86 for this kit here. And I purchased this through Amazon, and this will bring this out and give the Xmaxx the stability it needs. With all this power you have, it's a great truck to drive. A lot of power, a lot of torque, but everybody knows the Xmaxx always flips over and it's not stable at all, so this will solve this. So let's get to it, and I'm gonna get these on. First things first, let's get this open. I love the GPM parts, and again, this is more durable because this is an all steel shaft versus the stock. It's just a thin aluminum, so this, for the extra width, this is going to be a lot stronger than going with the longer arms, but with the aluminum hub, I guess you call, or axle. This is a lot stronger, so it's going to withstand the power of making it wider. You guys know what I mean. It's hard to explain, but we're going to get this. First thing I like to do, you got to get this clip off. So they like to jump, so I like to have a magnet in place to try to stop it from shooting up at me and losing it. Gotta be very careful with these clips, guys. So I like to put a magnet right on the end. There you go. That's step one. Then we pull this out. And so what we have to do now is a couple ways you can do this. I can disconnect here, and I believe that will give me enough clearance to pull this out. Alright, so I put these extra caps. These are from some of the shock mounts here. These are extras. I put it here instead of just having just the screw to give it a little extra protection so it doesn't come out. So I'm going to push it this way, pull that out, pop that up. So it's still not going to give me the room to get this out. So we can either take it from the bottom, or we can just remove this arm, and that'll gives me enough room to let it lean forward. So that is a different screw. Let's try this one, or a strip. There we go, guys. One of the next upgrades I want to do is I want to go with the aluminum casters, because these tend to break a lot, especially when you throw a lot of power at this system. But especially if you upgrade the servo, you have to change these. A stronger servo would break these all day. So, well, it still doesn't give me enough clearance. I could remove the bottom, but it just takes a little bit. There we go. Pop that out. So when I take this apart, I'll show you what I mean by these are a lot weaker than the GPM upgrade. Alright, so back to this part. So you see the opening right there. You line that up here. Throw your little pin in. And then it secures right here. they have free movement. A lot of times these pins will slide out on you, so you gotta be careful when you're resetting these in. So we want to pop these back in. I'm not taking my little collars off, so it's a little tighter here. And what I thought, the bottom's gonna have to get removed because this is wider. No, actually, you know what? Let's see if we can put it in here first. Get that seated first, and then we can pop it right in. There we go. Now you're back with this. Line this back up. Sometimes working with gloves when they get greasy, it's not ideal, but gotta save my hands. This is exactly why I'm gonna do the rest off camera. Seems like when I work on camera, I fumble some of the screws. When it seems like when you're off camera, it's so much smoother. But why is this? Alright, that's not the right one. There we go. You don't want to over tighten. And now put this back on. This pin here, it slides this way. And again, I use the extra suspension cap. What that does give me, instead of just a washer, it gives me a little bit more peace of mind that this is not going to pop out. I need to upgrade to the GPM where a bolt comes through each side to stop this from happening, but I haven't ordered that yet. But for now, this does the trick. I've only had one problem one other time since I've done this. Alright, so this is all in. So this is the other piece. This is the last piece that strengthens this up, is the aluminum collar that goes over the width of, this is basically what is widened out. This is the 24 millimeters here. So if you see the stock, when it sits, it'll be right here. So that's the extra width you got. It's hard to line it up without it in the block, but you guys get the idea. Fumbled again. So this gives you that extra protection for this. This is the actual widening width of this adapter. Just gonna bring it out. See how this sits in the rear, and this brings it out. So now you just put this back on. Doesn't matter the side. I don't believe it matters the side. Put it back down. Actually, I think it does, because this allows the pin. Alright, there it is. Again, I should have my magnet. There it is, pops off. That's what you want to avoid, guys. I'm back. Let me do it this time with my magnet. Gloves are getting slippery. Alright, line it up. Before I press it down, touch my nail, boom, right there. So that's one guy. So I'm going to do the rest off camera, and then I'll show you with it all widened out. Alright, here we have it, YouTube. We got all four corners widened out. 24 millimeter extension, so this should bring it to the width of the wide max. So let's get some tires on it and put it next to the XLT and see if it's the correct width, a good width. So since we still have some snow, what I'm gonna do is put my Funko tires on here. And what I did is I purchased these a little while back. These are from the Pro Sandrail Funko. I don't like that car, but my good friends over at Jenny's RC supplied me with these. And once again, guys, utilize Jenny's RC. They sell technically used parts, but they're brand new parts off of brand new cars. So to sell it online, they have to list them as used, but the parts are brand new. So what I've done is purchase these, and I also just went today, because I was just going to put them originally on the rear, but these are a great upgrade. They fit perfectly on here, and there's a cheaper option than going to get the Pro lines or aftermarket, and they look and match perfectly. Fits the hubs perfect. So here we are. That's one corner. So what I did today, just went over to my good friends over at Jenny's and purchased. They were out of the green rings, but technically, since I don't use the front rings, I can switch it off of the front tire of the Sandrail, because I would never use those tires. I have no plans on buying that Sandrail. I think it's a little more than what I want to spend on something like that. But shout out to Mr. Mitos. He hell of an upgrade he did. But we purchased these from Jenny's RC. As you can see, these are brand new. Purchased off of brand new cars, but listed as used to sell online. But they're local to me, and I'm friends with them. I do business with them with my personal business. So I utilize them. These brand new tires. So we're gonna put them on the rear. Of course, these are the fronts we would never use, because maybe down the road for another build or something else. But we're gonna go ahead and continue with the green and blue theme. All right, let's get this thing bolted up, guys. It's the opposite way. I use my impact. That's one. Two. Don't you guys wish you can change a real car's tires this fast? It's like NASCAR pit crew. Alright, we're all bolted up, guys. See the stance on this. This is a nice, cleans it up. Looks good. I like the green and blue. Got the GPM parts. This truck I'm upgrading as the Ultimate, but I'm not using all the Traxxas parts. I'm using a lot of GPM, and it's coming together. I got to do the caster blocks, and that's pretty much done. But that's it. Let's get a top on this and compare it to the XRT.